What is Let's Talk Veteran? It's not just a name. It's a movement. It's a movement I believe in. It's a movement who a lot of people part of our community also believe in, right? And what is that movement, right? It's the idea that our community, the veteran community, can help support other veterans who are maybe going through something. Maybe they're dealing with something. Maybe they're struggling with something. And the majority of us don't want to be a burden to others. It's not how we were raised. It's not what the military did not ingrain that to us, right? We were ingrained to continue mission, right? Charlie Mike, as they say it in the military. We were also taught, suffer in silence. And it's not that we're not struggling, right? It's just, we have a constant idea that we think other people have it worse. And there are those out there, right? But we never want to put other people's burdens or our burdens onto other people. It's not what we want to do. So when I'm thinking about what Let's Talk Veteran is, right, we had a really good discussion on Tuesday when it comes to veteran suicide, right? What we're trying to do here at Let's Talk Veteran, right, is we're trying to help make an impact on that number because it keeps going up. It almost has consistently gone up. We've had over 140,000 from 2001 to 2023, right? That's almost a whole branch. So what are we, right? We're a movement that is veterans supporting other veterans. That's all it is. We speak that lingo. We can bridge that gap between the veteran and the VA system. The VA, is it perfect? No, of course not. But it does do a pretty good job, and they, guess what, specialize in veterans. That's the only people they serve. However, with 61% of the veterans who commit suicide being a year or more removed from the system, well, how can they get treatment and get help and get support and get all that stuff from the VA if they're not in the system, right? The problem isn't the system failing them. The problem is that we can't get them to the system. And we've all had issues with it, right? Most of us who have gone on some sort of recovery journey, treatment, support, help, whatever you want to call it, we're at wit's end, right? I mean, I was on my second DUI by the time I asked for help. Some people had already lost a marriage or two. Some people had already attempted suicide. Some people had lost their jobs, right? We were already at catastrophe before we decided to get help. Some of us, it was just forced upon us. It's like, hey, do this or you're done, right? And so what we're trying to do at LTV, right, is we're trying to get those veterans who are maybe hesitant on coming in to the fold, right? Or maybe who have a bad experience, right? Maybe who are new to getting out, right? 2/3 of the veteran population don't use the VA system, and the VA system is literally there for just the veterans. Now, again, it's not perfect. I get that. But we're at an all-time low when it comes to veteran suicide for veterans who are involved in VA healthcare, and then at 61% of veterans who aren't in it are killing them. Of those that do it, aren't involved in it. Right? If the majority of the veterans who are committing suicide aren't involved in the system, maybe we should take a look at getting them in there, right? And money doesn't solve that problem, right? You could throw billions of dollars at it. It does not solve that problem. What solves that problem is our community itself, other veterans, right? We can share our experiences, right? Share our stories. And we don't have to paint a picture about it either, right? We're already speaking the lingo. We're already speaking the dialect. We're already speaking the language, right? Veteran's a whole other language. That's why we call it Let's Talk Veteran, right? Because we're speaking a whole other language to each other, right? We don't have to explain anything to another veteran because they already know. And that creates a lot more buy-in from each other. So what is Let's Talk Veteran, right? It's a movement. And it's a movement that I believe in. And it's a movement that a lot of our community believes in. And we need to keep pressing that movement on each other, right? It just starts with a conversation to a vet, right? That's it, right? Any vet you see, just bump into him and talk to him, right? And then move on, right? Because you can't save everybody, right? But you can save a lot more than where we're at right now. So yeah, I just felt a little inspired after our conversation on Tuesday. And, obviously those videos don't get posted, right? That's for, in-person content and then those that join in online. But man, it was an awesome meeting on Tuesday, and I just felt inspired. You know what? I had my bravado. I was amped up when I left that meeting. You know what I'm talking about? So that's what inspired me to make this video, right? Create this idea, you know, what is Let's Talk Veteran, right? It's a movement. It's a movement with veterans supporting other veterans, right? There's no agenda. There's no politics. There's no nothing, right? It's just, hey, man, we're going to come talk to you. If you want to talk to us, great. If you want to tell us to kick rocks, great, you know. But we can continue bridging that gap together because what we're doing clearly isn't working when it comes to the system. But the veterans aren't going to get any help from the system, right, if they don't get in there in the first place. Right? The system only works if we're using it. And we can help other veterans think about using it, consider using it, give it a shot, right? Because we can create a little bit more buy-in than if I talk to somebody else. That's all I have for today. Again, I just felt like making a little video. You guys know me. I do all these in one take. Maybe they're good, maybe they're bad. I don't know. I kind of wing most of these videos. But, you know, I want to just kind of speak from the heart and what I was really feeling. But yeah, next week, still got axe throwing on Tuesday, so look forward to seeing everybody that wants to show up. And then, you know, again, make sure you're reaching out, you know, talk to your brothers and sisters, right? Say, hey, what's up? How are you doing? That's all it takes. All right. Peace.